Donald Trump is terrified, and he's attacking the Midas Touch network for leading the boycott of his State of the Union along with Move On. As you know by now, the Midas Touch network is hosting the People's State of the Union, which will be the official counter programming against Donald Trump's fascist circus that will be the State of the Union. Will be out there on the National Mall. There are dozens and dozens of Democratic senators and members from the House of Representatives who will be shoulder to shoulder attending the People's State of the Union that the Midas Touch network is hosting. Donald Trump has said that we are trying to sabotage one of the greatest nights for our country. He calls the boycott a phony boycott. He says this is absolute disrespect. He's saying we've weaponized the system, and he says that we are trying to attack him. Let's just take a look at the message that he sent. Ironically, I received this email as well, attacking me, but I'm on his email list and I subscribe so you don't have to. Here's what he writes. He says, "Tomorrow's the day. In just 24 hours, I walk into the House chamber for my historic State of the Union, but the woke extremists have already lost their minds. I've never seen people more desperate. They're literally foaming at the mouth," he says. He goes, "They aren't just attacking me. They are showing absolute disrespect for the office of the presidency. And even worse, absolute disrespect for you, the American people. Here's the radical left's playbook for tomorrow night. Phony boycotts because they're afraid of the truth. Staged walkouts to please the fake news media. Total sabotage of the greatest night for our country." And it says, "Stand with Trump. They've weaponized the system and lied to your faces. Now they want to turn the State of the Union into a circus." No, quiet, piggy. Just think about it. All these empty seats. Quiet, piggy. Donald Trump goes on to say over here, "I will not be stopped. I'm going in there to tell them exactly how we're putting America first. Before I take the stage, I need to know that my supporters will have my back. Will you proudly join thousands of patriots in saying, 'I will always love President Trump no matter what'? MAGA? Ben, I'm talking to you. Say, 'I will always love President Trump.'" How utterly pathetic is that? Then they had state regime media, which calls itself Fox News, attacking us. Here's what they had to say about the official boycott of the State of the Union, the People's State of the Union. Here, play this clip.
12 Democrats plan to ditch the address altogether, and they will head to the National Mall for a counter rally instead. Congressional correspondent Bill Malugin is on Capitol Hill. Bill.
Harris, good morning to you. There may be quite a few empty seats during President Trump's speech here on the Hill tomorrow night, to your point. Well over a dozen Democrats have said they're skipping this speech, and that's in the context of all the backlash that Democrats got during last year's speech.
And we've had lots of senators and members of Congress posting that they will be attending the Midas Touch Network and the Move On People's State of the Union. You have Senator Ruben Gallego. You have Democratic Congressmember Robert Garcia. You have Congressmember Maxwell Frost. I mean, here's what he writes. "Tomorrow I will not be attending the State of the Union. Instead, I will be at the People's State of the Union because while this administration may desperately try to suppress the opposition and consolidate authoritarian power, it cannot silence the truth or the people determined to share it. History has shown us that when we, the people, organize, we win." Take a look at some of the senators and House members who will be attending. And by the way, I hope you will be watching the People's State of the Union. As you'll see on our YouTube link, if you go to the live section right now, you'll see it's right there. We already have a lot of people in the waiting room area. So you'll just go to the People's State of the Union right there, click it, and then you'll be in the lobby. So we have Senator Ruben Gallego, Senator Markey, Senator Merkley, Senator Murphy, Senator Schiff, Senator Smith, Senator Van Hollen, Congresswoman Ansari, Congresswoman Ballant, Congresswoman Kassar, Congresswoman Leger Fernandez, Congressman Frost, Congressman Garcia, Congressman Himes, Congresswoman Jacobs, Congresswoman Jayapal, Congressman Larson, Congresswoman Kamlager Dove, Congresswoman Sumner Lee. We've got Representative Pingree, Presley, Randall, Scanlon, Ramirez, Coleman, and more. It's hosted by Katie Fang and Joy Reid, featuring Aaron Parnas as well. It's going to be absolutely incredible. While all of this is going on too, Donald Trump's approval is at an all-time low. And as all of the polls are showing, never has a president shown up at a State of the Union with weaker numbers than Donald Trump right this moment. Take a watch at this. How weak is Donald Trump? Let's take a look. Let's play it.
I would borrow the phrasing of Tony Blair, of course, the former Prime Minister of Great Britain, saying weak, weak, weak. It was weak over there in the United Kingdom. It is weak here in the United States when it comes to President Trump. Okay, Trump's net approval rating. Look at all the pre-SOTU polls, the SOTU State of the Union. Look at this. Okay, we're at this point. Look at that. Negative 27 points. My goodness gracious. The snow is up to the knees here in New York City, and Trump seems to be well underneath it at this point. Compare that to where he was in 2020, 2019, and 2018 in term one going into those State of the Unions. Minus 10, way lower now. Minus 15, way lower now. Minus 15. Way lower now. The bottom line is this. Donald Trump has never been weaker going into a State of the Union address, according to our CNN polling, than he is right now, and weaker by a considerable amount.
So this is his first term to his second term. How does it compare to other presidents at this point in their second term, though?
Yeah, okay. It's not just that Donald Trump is breaking records compared to himself when it comes to State of the Unions. He's breaking records compared to other presidents at this point going into a State of the Union. What are we talking about? Look at all the 21st century presidents on your screen right here. About at this point in the second term going into the State of the Union. Trump at minus 27 points. Obama was at minus 15 points. George W. Bush was at minus 11 points. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know that minus 27 points is considerably lower than minus 15 or minus 11. So Trump isn't just weaker than he's ever been going into a State of the Union address. He is weaker than any other president this century going into a State of the Union address at this point in their second term.
We're talking about it all throughout the show as we're going through these numbers, but talk about what is driving this drop for the president.
What is driving this drop? I said record was the name of the game when it came to this segment, right? Talking about the lowest Trump has ever been going into the State of the Union, the lowest that any president has been this century going into a State of the Union at this point in their presidency. It is also the weakest that Donald Trump has ever been with independents. Look at this drop. We've been talking about it the past few months. At this point, a year ago, Donald Trump was at minus 13 points. Look at this. Minus 47 points among independents, the lowest Donald Trump has ever been in either of his two terms as president with independents. That is driving these numbers. When you're 47 points underwater with independents, that's the name of the game. You can't be above water overall. And that's why Donald Trump is near record lows overall and the lowest he's ever been going into a State of the Union address.
Quite a message on the eve of this big moment. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you.
Now, some of the members of Congress who will be attending the People's State of the Union have still invited a guest, mostly Epstein survivors, who will be attending the actual State of the Union. And there are members of Congress who have decided that they're going to show up to the State of the Union in defiance of Donald Trump, stare him down, and mostly their guests are going to be Epstein survivors as well. So expect a lot of empty seats and a lot of Epstein survivors who are going to be there at the State of the Union. So here are Democrats so far who've said that they're going to be bringing Epstein survivors to the State of the Union. Senator Schumer, Congressmember Raskin, Subramanian, Jayapal, Khanna, Walkinshaw, Fernandez, Leger, and Emily Randall. Some of these members, again, will be attending the People's State of the Union, but they haven't given their guest spot to Epstein survivors. Also, Jeffries, Kamla-Dove, Dexter, and Swalwell will have Epstein survivors there as well. And again, a lot of those members will be at our event. Not all of them, but a lot of them will be at our event. But they've given their seats to Epstein survivors. For example, Congressmember Garcia, the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, he's been doing a heroic job going after the truth with the Epstein files and exposing Donald Trump and these MAGAs. Congressmember Garcia said the following about the Epstein survivors who will be attending. Here, play this clip.
Tomorrow night, many of the survivors will be in attendance at the State of the Union.